Okay, I guess I will do the intro since Austin doesn't want to do it and Leslie's a scaredy cat.
Hey guys, I'm Austin. I'm the best of the best. This is the Illegitimate podcast, man.
And I,
Today I've got the sickly Leslie and the kinda sorta boss guy Nick.
woohoo,
Yay.
Whoa.
and
We need to sound as lethargic as possible in this.
Why? Oh, did I put too much enthusiasm in that why? Today we're doing those weird slash unique anime kiddos.
Yeah.
Who wants to start? Actually, I was thinking of doing like the yay and like the clapping sound effects.
that was the worst intro
like-
I've ever heard. Austin, we're never letting you do it
I'm
again.
leaving it in there.
We need to keep it. We need to keep it.
I know.
Leslie seems to be very excited about talking about something, so let Leslie do it.
Yeah, Leslie, talk about anime.
I've just, for some reason, I've been obsessed with Kuchu Barranco lately. Like, lately meaning today. Even though I watched it ages ago. It's a good anime if you're looking for some pretty weird animation and
She's
some
very
cool
good at
psychology
describing it.
stuff.
I know. It makes me want to just sit down and
Basically,
watch
off
it
the
right
top of
now.
my head, it's about a psychiatrist, and around the time of Christmas, she has a bunch of clients, and it's an episodic thing, but each one deals with something different, and there's some really great episodes. My favorite one was a baseball episode. It's baseball.
My favorite one was all of them.
She's very helpful today, but I think Cuckoo's Bronco's unique because one, it's toy animation, and people seem to give toy a bad rep because of their long running things, and they tend to be more experimental on their shorter things, which is true for this one because it uses a shit ton of rotoscopes.
It's like they actually took like photos of the people and like not necessarily like drew over them, kind of not like animation style actually.
Yeah, it's really
but
freaking creepy.
made it so it still looked like photos, but it wasn't. And they actually do use a lot of photos in their like art style and stuff. But yeah, and the art style is super like bright and colorful, and the main character Iruba is a super chill guy, and he has like 3 different forms, so you better get used to seeing a lot of the same person but in different art styles and stuff.
Leslie wasn't prepared for this, is all I'm gonna say. I should go next, and the next one is also a toy anime called Kyosei Giga. Make sure if you do watch Kyosei Giga, you watch the 10 episode one, because that's the only one that's actually good. But I don't remember much about the synopsis, so I'm just gonna read the one on mouth since I'm cool like that. Hidden in Kyoto is a mere capital where yokai humans live together and no one ever dies. It is protected by 3 people: Karama, Yasei, and Myoe. As they await their return of their parents, Myoe, Joan, and Koto. One day, a young girl named Koto, same name difference spelling, and her little brothers A and Un wander into the city from different dimensions looking for her mother. A mecha geek with red eyes is not immediately clear whether she's human or yokai. Her arrival upset a long peace that ruled the city. Basically, like Kyushu Brancho, it's very bright and colory, and it just like it's one of those anime that you don't really expect, especially from shows from Toei, which obviously are known for their long-running Battle Shonen and Sailor Moon type shows. But it's an interesting ride to say the least. It's not like most anime these days, and it's something a lot of people skip over because it's done by Toei.
Yay. Everybody give yourself a pat on the back.
I have another one that like maybe I'm the only one who's seen it, but House of 5 Leaves or Soraya Goyu. it's technically like a samurai show because there is a samurai in it, but he kind of has like some social anxiety-ish problems, and he ends up working for like these sort of like kidnappers, but there's like a reason behind their kidnapping, and maybe they're not all bad. And it has some of the greatest character development I've ever seen. And it definitely needs more people watching it because it is very good.
So I guess I'll go because I'm so enthusiastic, unless I just cut you off. Did I cut you off?
This is where he talks about Star Driver.
This time I'll be a pleb and talk about a shitty show called Samurai Champloo. Something like that, I don't know. It's by that guy, not... Watanabe.
Never heard of him.
No, the director. And it is by Studio Manglobe. I don't know. I'm not looking at the Wikipedia right now or anything. Don't give me such weird accusations. Pretty much it's a very unique show because it blends like tradition with like pop/hip hop. It's really bizarre. Soundtrack I don't really like, but it was unique.
How the hell did you not like Champloo's soundtrack?
Because I have taste.
That's one of the most selling points about Champloo is the mix of hip hop with samurai setting. And you don't like the soundtrack.
It was unique though. I like the characters and the character interactions.
Why did we let this guy in the podcast? He's already disappointing me.
Hey, I hosted this one this time. I did the intro thing. That means I'm host, right?
Yeah, you just sound mentally retarded when you did it.
Oh.
Hey,
are you saying I'm not mentally retarded?
Oh. Well, moving on.
Are you gonna mention anything else about Champloo? Or are you just gonna say... I mean...
I have seen it. I think Mugen's a fantastic character. I haven't listened to the soundtrack outside of watching the series, though, other than the opening. I like the opening, but I haven't, bothered to sit down and listen to the soundtrack. But I have another unique anime. I'm totally,
probably
monopolizing this one. Ouch. Well, I don't know. I think it's cool, and I haven't really seen anything quite like it. Have you guys seen Triple X Holic?
I know of it.
Nope.
It's a clamp show, and the characters get especially noodly in the animation style, so if that weirds you out, you don't have to pick it up, but it's one of my favorite anime because it has a mysterious atmosphere to it, and it actually is deep and philosophical and stuff, but it also has some good comedy, I think. And especially if you read all the manga, it ends up getting really sad, but sad in an aching type thing, not as in a character dies type thing. But it definitely has inspiration from traditional Japanese spirits and ghosts and stuff. They have Amawarashi and Zeshiki Warashi, and they have the monkey's paw and stuff, but it's really good. And it's another anime that teaches equivalent exchange, so...
Okay, since Leslie can stop talking now, I guess I can say something where she's gonna start talking again. Zega.
Hey guys, guess what I did today?
Whoa. You can't just cut Leslie off like that.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna be Leslie that she's talking and I want to talk, and it's really loud in my head right now, but Zega Pain. Zega Pain is a Sunrise mecha series that came out in the period which I like to call the worst period for CGI of all time. Because it has very jarring CGI and it's ugly to look at, but it's a very philosophical mecha series about what is real and what isn't real. Basically, it's about a guy he's in the swimming team. He sees this girl randomly jump in the water, and goes to rescue her. And he somehow gets teleported to this other world, even though the other world is technically the real world. And he learns about the world and that everything he's seen is not true. And it's a very interesting mecha series, to say the least. It's very different from watching, Gundam or Macross or any of the classic mecha series, and it's different than obviously Geass.
So what you're telling me is the main character dove into the red pill.
Yeah, it's a bit complicated. This I just think that everybody should watch it if they're a mecha fan, because it's something different, and you don't really get too many deep mecha series unless it's like not fully based on the mecha. It's more about the characters than the actual battles and whatever, which this is.
Forgot go for. Okay, actually, no, Austin, you go.
Okay. Now I'll teach you youngsters about a good anime
no.
instead of Shampoo.
I have no hope for this.
We got Ungu. It's a mystery. Hold on, I'll think of it. Supernatural mystery story about this detective, Shinjiro Yuki, who is known as the defeated detective, who apparently hasn't solved like any cases and is always outsolved by this other detective. And it follows him and this weird kid that you never know the gender of, who is called Inga. And yeah, it starts off very episodic, but like towards the end it has like an overarching like plot to wrap it up, and it's a really good watch, especially if you like mystery and or supernatural stuffs.
And it's done by Best Boy Bones.
Yes, it is done by Best Boy Bones.
I haven't seen it, but I have had friends talk about it, and they talk about it's the best mystery ever, because like apparently they meant to have like a second season that they never did. So in the opening, there are characters in the opening that never appear in the series, so it's best mystery because we don't know who those characters are, or why they might have been important, so...
Well, if you read the source material, which is a novel series by this one author, and I think the author's name was like something, it was similar to Ungu. I don't know.
Madhouse actually has a mystery series that people tend to not watch. But I'm trying to find the name up because I can't remember off the top of my head, but it basically was... Oh, here it is. Basically, it was about a... They started seeing like these corpse body parts everywhere around, and they have a mystery to find it, and it's really cool how they do it, because it's just like this whole overarching story, and you don't really see Madhouse doing all of these mystery series, so it was interesting to say the least, but I lost the name again, so I can't go and mention it. But for those who've seen it know what I'm talking about, while I go and search through Madhouse's large list of anime to find it. Someone else can go, since this is going to take a while.
Didn't you try to get me to watch that stupid thing called Go Sick, Nick?
Yeah, but it's only because you like Bones.
I was about to make a very inappropriate joke, but I stopped myself. I might edit in like a round of applause from our fake audience. So, Leslie, you got any shows you want to talk about while I'm researching and Nick's doing whatever he's doing?
I guess I'll talk about one I just finished called See the Money of Soul and Possibility Control. It's basically, it sounds super weird, but if somebody took like your basic economics class and then turned it into a battle anime, and it doesn't focus a lot on the actual like battles, but kind of like assets and putting money towards the future versus trying to make all your money now. And so it has like some philosophy behind it, but it's very economic. I especially suggest it to those who actually know economics, because I knew hardly anything going into it.
I've actually seen that show, and it's pretty good.
It's pretty.
It's pretty lame.
It's pretty good. I don't
do-
know. I thought Project K was pretty lame.
Yeah, but that had a lot of flair
I
to
have
it.
not s-
Yeah, just like that other Go Hands title, Handshakers.
Yeah, but this one's actually
So
has
much
good
flair.
animation and doesn't try to put CGI to show off. But the anime I was talking about was called Morio no Haku, or Box of Goblins. Anyway, for my next one, I'm just going to read out the synopsis. I don't remember completely off the top of my head what this is about, which is Katana Gatari, which is a 12-episode OVA series by the creator of Monogatari, which is an interesting fact. The author wrote one volume a month for a year for this series, so each episode got adapted in a month. So, that's some news. Okay, what it's about. It's in Edo-era Japan, lush with a variety of sword fighting styles. Shikika Yasuri practices the most unique one, Kyotoro, a technique in which the user embodies wielded as a blade. The seventh head of the Kyotoro school, Shikaku, was quietly in exile with his sister Nanami until one day the wildly ambitious strategist Togami barges into their lives. Togami brazenly requests that Shika help in her mission to collect 12 unique swords known as the Deviant Blades for the Shogunate. Shika accepts, interested in the girl herself rather than the petty politics, and thus sets out on an adventure. Then there are fierce wielders of these legendary weapons, as well as other power-hungry entities who will seek to thwart Togami's objective in order to prevail against their enemies. The duo must become an unbreakable team as they forge ahead of their path of uncertain peril. Also, it's by White Fox. They did Steins Gate.
I saw like maybe 3 episodes of that and then dropped it. But it was pretty good from what I saw.
It's kind of like Monogatari, where it's very dialogue heavy, but it's not as dialogue heavy. There's actually more action than Monogatari is. But I think it's something that you should at least try if you're like a fan of more action heavy series. Well, sort of have action. It's not like Hellsing, but it's a fun series, and besides the fact that each episode is 50 minutes long, it really is an enjoyable like action series with dialogue and cool characters.
It's a bit hard to watch though.
I watched
or
it in one day.
marathon, I should say. How though? Each episode's like
Well,
1.5 hours.
Well, technically, I watched it in 24 hours, but I watched it one day, then in the night, then in the morning I watched the rest of it.
Why would you do that to
I
yourself?
liked it. That's what I did to myself.
It was fun, I guess.
Okay. I have one.
Oh, Leslie, I choose you because you know this is like a classroom setting now. I don't know.
Yay!
I'm the best host, guys. I'm gonna give myself
Totally.
a pat on the back.
We're totally professional here. This one is another one of my favorite anime. It's Gankutsuo, the Count of Monte Cristo.
It's terrible.
Yeah, based off of the based off of the Count of Monte Cristo. Clearly, the biggest differences is sorry. The biggest difference is that it's the setting is like in the year 5000, so way into the future, and that it's from Albert's point of view, and the animation is like nothing you have ever seen. Ha 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 ha. As people like to describe it, it's wallpaper everywhere. Have either of you guys seen it?
Nope. I just
No.
know about it and how I'm going to read the book and never watch it.
I saw like a little bit of the art, and then I was like, do I really want to watch this? Do I really want to watch this? And so I didn't.
It's very good for wallpapers, like if you want to just pause and take a screenshot. Sometimes there's like CGI and that gets wonky, but It's really good. It has like a lot of characters and a very complicated plot, so you might have to like come up with a flowchart or something. But it's very. If you like Durarara, you'll probably like this. Except the characters are more likable in Durarara, but that's irrelevant.
Okay, I will go next since Austin doesn't watch anything. Monogatari. Yeah, I talked about Katana next. I should have probably did this first, but Monogatari is about a third-year high school named Aragu who, while on his way home from the bookstore after buying some porn, found this young vampire named... I can't remember her name off the top of my head, even though I read the book. I don't remember her name, but... Oshino. He got bit by Oshino and turned into a vampire. And basically, at least in the first novel, he managed to like be able to resist sunlight in a way, so he's actually able to do shit. And basically, it's just him, and he's talking a lot, talking to people in his school, his family, and just going on these weird ass adventures with them. And it gets very strange. It's by Shaft. This is where the head tilting. It has so many different animation styles within each season. It's just a ball of fun with lots of weird shit. Oh,
I will say this. It's kind of like a harem anime, so if you want to count it as a harem
it's
anime,
like, I guess in a way it can be considered a harem.
favorite.
It's just different than most harems are.
Yeah. It's like my favorite, so. Because, like, the difference is from harem anime is, like, he still meets girls and, like, interacts with them, but not all of them fall for him, which is good, because one of them's, like, an elementary schooler.
That elementary schooler is just fun whenever he picks on her, though.
It's so great. I love those two so much. Aranagi, you did that on purpose. My tongue slipped. You didn't do that on purpose?
Yeah. No, I didn't, actually. Aragi. Yeah. But I don't think this is for everyone, obviously, especially when you get to the toothbrush scene in Ninsei Monogatari, which is...
Oh, I know this. I've seen that toothbrush scene.
Well, it's a meme at this point. I think if you're in the anime community and at least know something other than Battle Series, you will come across the toothbrush scene at some point.
I'm pretty sure it was you who showed it to me.
I did like in the dojo. But yeah, I don't think everybody should watch this. If you're into weird stuff and you like to read a lot, because there's like this... They have these like parts where you don't have to read. Like they flash on the screen for like a millisecond. You gotta skim it unless you pause it to read them. And it gives you background information. It's just... It teaches you how to skim quickly. I'll just say that, because if you rewatch all Monogatari and you don't learn how to skim, and you didn't really try to read those things, because if you did, you can skim really freaking fast. At least that's my experience and most people's experience while going through Monogatari and dealing with those fucking flashcards that pop up.
So if we're going unique series, guys, how can we not talk about the most unique battle series I've ever seen? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Come on, it's a classic.
So basically, the anime is trash, and you should just read the manga, join every fan art group, go on Tumblr, and don't touch the anime because the anime is trash compared to every JoJo fan. And I just ran out of breath saying that.
I don't even know what you just said, but okay, Nick.
It's good. My favorite part's part 4. I really like Rohan.
Rohan was okay, but he was no Jotaro.
Jotaro's like the worst JoJo.
Dude,
he's legitimately the
most
worst
iconic.
JoJo out of all 8 of them.
He's the most iconic.
Yeah, because how he looks, but he is literally the worst JoJo.
He is one of the best JoJos.
Josuke is best JoJo.
Well, I would disagree
Except
with you.
for
Anime-wise,
Joseph.
Josuke is the best, but manga-wise, there's this guy named Johnny. You'll get to him in like 3 years. Hopefully.
Nah. David's gonna stop after
No,
part
the
4.
director actually said he wants to do 1 through 8. But
He's gonna stop.
But for those
He can't continue.
who don't know what JoJo is about a family called the Joestars, and they are a kind of special family because they they have special fat powers, and they're all connected due to the first Joestar named Jonathan, the Gentleman. But
Part 1 is the best part. Don't be fooled by these trash.
I actually don't
thinking
understand why people don't really like part 1. I understand it. In my opinion, it is the worst part minus part 5. Because I really don't like part 5. But
Part 1 it played out more like a tragedy.
yeah,
if I were to be
I think it
honest.
set up the Joestar family, but it doesn't have the craziness besides like Dio kicking the dog Danny, putting it in the fire, and there's zombies, and he steals his body. I just don't think it comes.
Whoa! Don't go into spoiler territory
It's
now.
part 1. I don't care.
Hey. Is that a JoJo's reference?
Shit, dude, we had a JoJo reference.
My friend told me he was at his job. This like Egyptian song came on, and some guy just starts screaming, "Is that a JoJo reference?"
Yes.
But yeah, I think everyone should try JoJo. It's a little weird. You may not like the first part, but I think the second part is absolutely a really fun blast, especially because especially when that episode where Joseph, the second Joestar, he gets the Tommy gun and just starts shooting everywhere. It's just crazy, and I think it's one of the longest manga out there too, and it's really unique, and it's just crazy, and especially when his art style kind of shifts, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is this flamboyant shit?"
And it's one of the few manga where the mangaka isn't dying from some sort of crazy health problem.
Yeah, the mangaka looks like he's 20 years old, and he's like 57.
He's gonna be immortal.
No, he's not.
I'm assuming he's one of those guys in Japan that's obsessed with like their face and have to like do everything to make himself look younger and not get wrinkles.
I'm pretty sure he's just Dio in disguise.
I guess we each of us can do one more. So does that have to go soon? Leslie, you go while I find something.
Pressure. Someone else go.
Austin, talk about Star Driver.
No, I got taste, guys. I've upgraded. I've got taste now. Star Driver. I really do like Star Driver, but I think a show that's even more unique than Star Driver that I feel like could get a little more love is Tiger and Bunny, because Tiger and Bunny is like superheroes, but like monetized superheroes and stuff, and it's by Sunrise. It is not a mecha. I don't know why some people claim it's a mecha. There's no mechs in it.
I feel like there's mechs in it by the description, Austin.
Yes, it was done by Sunrise, and there's no mechs. Sunrise without mechs is no rise. There are a few mechs. Okay, I'll say that there's a few mechs, but it's like superheroes defending this city. I forgot what the city was called, but yeah, there's like villains and stuff. And Lunatic is probably one of the best characters, who's the like anti-hero, and he's edgy and he's flaming. Not homosexual though. Yes, it's a good show. You should watch it. I totally just cut you off, didn't I, Nick?
Okay. Yeah, my friend been trying to get me to watch Tiger and Bunny for a while. I'm interested in just, I have this huge list of anime I want to watch. Anyway, I'm going to mention one that totally isn't cliche or not heard of before. That's Gintama. I didn't want to mention something we never talked about.
Oh, come on.
Gintama is the parody of anime. If you are popular in some way in Japan, you are getting parodied by Gintama. Gintama is about these three people, Gintoki, I can't remember the names, Shinpachi and Kagura, and they own this place. I can't remember the name, but it's like a store where a company where they like help people with their problems, and well, they're a bunch of dumbasses. They are incredibly stupid, and it's just like they're just so dumb. It's like it's just amusing watching these characters and the reactions they have, and like they have this like in this world, aliens have taken over, and samurais are banned, even though they are samurais. And there is a shogun that's supposed to enforce that. And this shogun, they try to every time they hang out with him, they always end up somehow fucking up his life. Like I remember there's one episode where he has to get a haircut, and they did such a horrible job. And he tried not to look at the mirror, and when he came out of the barbershop, he was crying, even though they were trying so hard not to fuck up. But it's a unique series that not only people will watch because one, it's 300 something episodes. Two, unless you know a lot about anime, manga, or just Japanese pop culture, you won't get a shit ton of references. And three, people think this is an action series when it's not.
Okay. My turn?
I suppose
guess.
Miss Leslie, who's so energetic right now.
Am I more energetic than Leslie? Quick question. Or is it about the same level?
You're just slowly dying, guys. The one I picked is another one of my favorite anime. It's Ajin.
Ajin.
I will say, if you don't like CGI, then you don't have to watch it, but you should at least check out the manga.
Yeah, the manga is
because it
great.
totally
There's no
worth it.
CGI in the manga.
Well, of
It's
course.
totally, the
'cause you
story
can't.
is...
Well, there is manga that, like, I know Gantz and its creator use, like, digital animation to do theirs, so it's not like there isn't CGI in manga, it's just, it doesn't look like the anime.
Can I talk now?
Wait. Somebody's got to interrupt her. No, I'm just kidding. You can talk.
Okay, cause it's the very, like, beginning. It's a little similar to Tokyo Ghoul, but don't worry, it's a completely different beast in the long run.
Well, I think,
Because, what?
I would say with Ajin, I don't think Kai is very similar to Kaneki, because Kai is a sociopath.
Well, yeah, that's, like, the thing about one of the differences. The main character of Ajin, he's not a sympathetic guy at all. He just wants to have a peaceful life, and he will do whatever it takes to get there. Even if it's, like, threaten others. He still has, like, a shred of humanity, but it's like, faint, and so the entire show is dealing more with, like, grays and blacks than whites and blacks. And it's just kind of like, do you want to root for the guy who's killing many people, who is the main antagonist, who I'm not going to say his
I
name
root for him
that
because he's
would be a
amazing.
spoiler. I will say this about Ajin. It has one of my favorite antagonists of all time.
Yeah, I really like him
Because-
because in the manga, he's very obsessed with video games.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
like,
Yeah, he's pretty great. Like, I'm pretty sure both Kai and him are sociopaths to some degree.
the difference is between them. The antagonist wants to have, like, an exciting, thrilling game. Like, he talks about he always plays his video games on the hardest level because that's the only point when it gets interesting. So he wants to make things as hard as possible for himself and others because that's what will make it interesting for him. And because, like, there are very few consequences in the long run. And the main character instead wants to have a peaceful life without any disturbances, and that's why he'll try and be, cordial, because if you're gonna go around punching people, you're not gonna have a peaceful life. So that's the biggest difference between them. It's fascinating, and my favorite character, Kai, is Best Boy 2016.
Yeah, the thing I like about Ajin, which I don't think Leslie mentioned, is the fact that there is a discrimination going on in Ajin, because Ajin itself is these people who die, and they don't die, they come back to life, so it can be pretty brutal. Like, the antagonist at some points will just, like, show them how brutal, he'll kill himself. I remember at one point, I don't think the anime covers this, but he, like, goes in, like, the woodcutter things, and, like, teleports to another area. I was like, what the fuck am I reading?
Yeah, that's why I said there aren't any consequences in the long run for the main antagonist, because he can't die. Like, you try and shoot him and he'll just come back
Yeah.
to life, or if you try and capture him, like, he can do his best to escape, and no matter how hard you shoot him, he'll just die and come back to life. That happens, like, repeatedly.
Also, the other thing are basically
They're,
stands.
in fact,
So are we all good? Should we
yeah,
wrap it up
they
now?
also can control these, like, black ghosts that
Whoa.
can do things. They're invisible to others,
Hey, I thought I was gonna
but
end
they're
it.
visible to
I
other
thought I
agents.
got to be host. Okay,
So,
guys,
yeah,
thanks for
stands.
listening to this.
And,
Oh, what?
yeah, there are, like, things surrounding that. And it's, like, super cool. And it has probably one of the best scientists of all time.
But guys,
Just because of
seriously,
how
thanks for tuning in.
little
to the
he
Shitty Ass
actually
Podcast.
cares about the outcome.
See you next week, or maybe I won't. I don't know. Look at that. We all got
As
to
long as
end
I
it.
have my smoke, I'm good. Is basically
I need some
his
British guy
approach to
in the
life.
next podcast, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that's our podcast today, this week. Sorry it wasn't as long, but I have shit to do. Well, you can end it if you want.
Hey, what if I wanted to end it? I want to end it. Thanks, guys. Hope you have a good day and have a nice life, I guess.